Hi there guys, I'm Nikhil from GreedyTech and this is a comparison between the Moto Edge 30 Ultra and the iQOO 90. Now to start off, Moto Edge 30 Ultra in India is being sold in two variants. Right now the base variant, which comes with 8GB of RAM and 128GB of storage, is priced at 55,000 rupees, and the next variant, which comes with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage, is priced at 60,000 rupees. As for iQOO 90, base variant is priced at 50,000 rupees, which is 5,000 less than Moto Edge 30 Ultra. It also comes with the same 8GB plus 128GB variant. Next variant is priced at 55,000 rupees. It also comes with 12GB of RAM and 256GB of storage. So there's definitely a difference of 5,000 rupees in pricing, but we do get more things on Moto, which I'll talk about at the conclusion. Now let's start the comparison with the design and build. Now here's a side-by-side look between the Moto Edge 30 Ultra and the iQOO 90. Moto has a thickness of 8.4 mm and has a weight of 198 grams. As for iQOO 90, it has a thickness of 8 mm and weighs about 206 grams. Now in terms of design and build, both phones have their own pros and cons. First of all, for the Moto Edge 30 Ultra, it definitely looks much more premium because of the curved display, and even though it is thicker than the iQOO 90 because of the curved sides, this phone actually looks and feels much more sleeker than the 90. Now coming to the 90, it has a flat display. There's nothing wrong about it, but it obviously doesn't look as premium as a curved display. It looks great. It's got the BMW branding on the backside. It looks cool. When you put both phones side by side, right out of the box, I'll just pick Moto because it looks more premium. So in this department, I'll pick Moto as a winner. By the way, both phones look and feel great in hand. Even though both phones weigh about 200 grams, weight distribution has been done really good and they do feel pretty good to hold. They don't feel all that heavy. Now when it comes to the hardware department, both phones offer pretty much the same stuff. Both comes with in-display fingerprint scanner, both have face unlock features. We get all the basic sensors on both the phones, but comparatively on the iQOO 90, we also have an infrared blaster which you can use to control other devices, while that's missing on Moto. Besides that, both offer their own haptic engines, and comparatively I like the one on the Moto better. Now when it comes to the display department, Moto comes with a 6.67-inch Full HD Plus POLED display with a peak brightness of 1250 nits with a punch-hole design, and it's also protected by Corning Gorilla Glass 5. It has HDR10+ support. As for iQOO 90, it comes with a bigger 6.78-inch Full HD Plus AMOLED display with 1500 nits of peak brightness, same HDR10+ support, and Corning Gorilla Glass 5 for protection. Well, Moto comes with 144Hz screen refresh rate, while the iQOO 90 has 120Hz screen refresh rate. Now this difference in screen refresh rate really won't matter for normal usage, but if you are into gaming, then that difference might be a bit more noticeable. Overall, displays on both phones are pretty good. They are bright, they are great for watching videos and playing games as well. Especially the outdoor visibility is very good. You won't have any issues with either of the phones. Well, obviously iQOO 90 performs slightly better because of the AMOLED panel and more brightness. But for day-to-day usage, most of the time there isn't a huge difference in the displays except for the most noticeable one, that's the curve. So if you're someone who likes the curved display, then Moto is the winner. If you're someone who just likes the flat displays, then the iQOO 90 is the winner in this round. Now when it comes to the software department, Moto comes with a stock Android look. It comes with Android 12 right out of the box. It will get 3 years of software updates and 4 years of security updates. As for iQOO 90, it comes with FunTouch OS 12, which is based on Android 12, and this phone will get 2 years of Android updates and 3 years of security updates. Well, there isn't any official information about that, but this is mostly true based on the previous behavior. So in the software department, at least when it comes to updates, Moto is obviously better. Besides that, both phones offer their own unique set of features. Like Moto has some pretty unique stuff, like you can do the chop gesture to toggle the flash, you can flip the phone to open the camera, and we also have a pretty good feature, that's the peak display, which is much different than other phones, especially the iQOO 90. Whereas the iQOO 90, it comes with tons of features, like you can customize each and every aspect of the phone. Starting from the lock screen to gestures, we have tons of gestures, screen double tap to wake, double tap to sleep, or you can just draw on the screen to perform some actions. Like they're just the start of the stuff. You can hide apps, lock applications, and do many crazy stuff on the iQOO 90. So if you're someone who likes the simple and clean stock Android look, then you can go with the Ultra. If you want tons of features, you need a lot more control over your phone, then iQOO 90 is obviously the winner. Now when it comes to performance, Both phones come with the same Snapdragon 8 Plus 1 Gen processor with Adreno 730 GPU. These are the benchmark scores for a quick reference. Well, there isn't a huge difference in performance. They both work really well. You get pretty good gaming experience on both phones, but because of the difference in displays, you'll once again have a slightly different experience. Overall, in terms of performance, there isn't a huge difference. I'd say it's a tie between both phones. You can just go with any of them. Next, when it comes to cameras, both phones have a triple camera setup on the rear. Moto has a 200 megapixel primary camera, while the iQOO 90 has a 50 megapixel primary camera. For selfies, Moto comes with a 60 megapixel camera, while the iQOO 90 comes with a 16 megapixel camera. These are some sample shots. When it comes to photography, there isn't a huge difference between both phones. Like, obviously there isn't a distinction between both phones, but sometimes Moto does better, sometimes iQOO does it better. Sometimes colors look much more realistic on Moto, sometimes it looks better on iQOO 90. All this is in good lighting conditions, so there isn't a really clear winner over here. When it comes to low lighting conditions, iQOO 90 has a dedicated V1 Plus chip which helps with noise reduction in low lighting conditions. So if you look at the low light pictures shot on Moto are close to reality. They look pretty much natural, like they don't try to overly brighten up things. As for iQOO 90, images are much more brighter than the photos from Moto, and if you notice, there isn't any noticeable noise as well, like it's been taken care of in the pre-processing. So once again, in low lighting conditions, both do their own magic. You can just go with the preference or the look that you like. Now when it comes to video recording, on the H30 Ultra, we can record video up to 8K resolution. Here's a quick sample footage downscaled to 1080p. Footage looks pretty good, but there's no stabilization. So if you have a gimbal or if you're just holding it steadily, you will definitely get a pretty good footage. As for iQOO 90, there's no 8K option. Next, we can also record 4K footage on both phones. Here's a comparison. Footage looks pretty good on both phones, but comparatively, footage looks better on the iQOO 90. On the Moto, it can be further improved. Finally, this is a sample footage recorded in 1080p. Once again, footage looked pretty good. Stabilization has also been done really well. On the iQOO 90, we get further options for stabilization, like we have an ultra stable mode which can further stabilize the footage. Now this is a sample footage for the front-facing cameras. Now this is a sample footage recorded using the front-facing camera of Moto and iQOO. Audio is from the phone itself, so you can check out the noise cancellation and stabilization of the other phones. By the way, this video is being recorded at 1080p resolution, and both phones offer stabilization, at least right out of the box. So guys, cameras on both phones are pretty good. Sometimes iQOO does it better and sometimes Moto does it better. Specifically when it comes to videos, iQOO 90 is definitely a bit more stable. Now finally, when it comes to the battery department, Moto H30 Ultra comes with a 4610 mAh battery and comes with a 125 watt turbo power charger inside the box. This phone also supports wireless charging up to 50 watts and reverse wireless charging up to 10 watts. You can completely charge this phone from 0 to 100% in just 30 minutes and from 0 to 40% in just 10 minutes. As for the iQOO 90, it comes with a 4700 mAh battery. It has a 120 watt flash charger, but comparatively, charging speeds are much faster on the 90. You can get up to 50% of charge in just 8 minutes, and you can completely charge your phone from 0 to 100% in just 20 minutes. So in terms of charging speeds, iQOO 90 wins hands down. In terms of battery life, I'll say both phones are pretty good. You can easily get up to 8 to 10 hours of screen on time depending upon your usage. And for both phones, if you're ever down on battery, you can just charge it for like 5 to 10 minutes and you can easily get through the day. So in the battery department, I'll say in terms of charging speed itself, iQOO 90 is the winner. But because of the features like wireless charging, reverse wireless charging and similar charging speeds, Moto can be a better deal in terms of more features. By the way, both phones come with dual stereo speakers. Moto also has Dolby Atmos. And here's a quick audio preview. both phones really sound great. There isn't a clear winner. I like them both. So guys, to conclude, both phones are pretty good and offer slightly different things. With Moto H30 Ultra, your phone will look much more premium and you have some extra features like wireless charging, reverse wireless charging. It's got the pure stock Android look and it will also get one more year of updates. As for the iQOO 90, even this phone looks pretty good for a flat screen. It's got faster charging speeds, it's slightly better in the camera department and also comes with an extra infrared blaster at the top. If you're someone who doesn't need all the fancy bells and whistles, lot of features, if you're someone who wants a simpler look, a neat and clean Android experience, then you can definitely go with the Moto H30 Ultra. At the same time, if you're someone who wants a lot of control over your phone, you want to customize it a lot and you want a lot of inbuilt features, then the iQOO 90 is the better choice for you. So guys, out of these two phones, which phone would you pick? Do let me know by commenting below this video, and if you're planning to buy any of these phones, use the link in the description. It always helps the channel. With that said, this is Nikhil signing off. See you in my next video.